Very good morning, students. Welcome to biology classes. Today we are going to see the 12th science biology and we are going to resume the chapter 13, that is organisms and population. We have already covered the almost all the topics of this chapter, yet today we are going to see the last most topic of this chapter, and that is population interactions, right? So this question is one of the questions which can be asked in short questions, right? Which is regularly been asked, right? So kindly keep your attention over here. So population interaction. So it is a what type of interactions are observed in between the populations, that is known as population interaction. A natural habitat consists of many organisms living together, and these organisms communicate and interact with each other. For example, plants depend on insects for pollination. So here, when a natural habitat is consist of many organisms. So normally a habitat, so in that habitat, so many different types of organisms are living together. And when they are living together, they are communicating with each other, right? They are interacting with each other. So the example of it can be that the plants are dependent on the insects for pollination. So that is what a kind of interaction and a kind of communication between the two different type of organisms in a single habitat, right? Now the interspecific interactions are those interactions between the two different species of organism. So as I say that when two different species of the organisms are present in a single habitat, when they are interacting with each other, right, then they are said to be the interspecific interactions. They can be either beneficial or harmful to one another, right? Or we can say one or both the partners, right? So here, when we are talking about the interspecific interactions, right, at this time, sometimes the different species of organisms, either they are beneficial or sometimes they are also harmful to both of the partners. Either one partner is being harmed or other partner is beneficial, or both the partners are harmed or both the partners are not beneficial, right? So those kind of interspecific interactions between the two different species is observed. So in the interspecific interactions, the first one is the predation, right? So predation, this is beneficial to the predator while the prey is harmed. So here when two species are present, right? So here what happens, amongst the two partners, one partner is beneficial and the another partner is harmed. So one, that is the one which who is said to be the predator, right, that is beneficial, while the prey on which it feeds, that is harm. Now it acts as a means of transfer of energy to the next higher trophic level and of maintaining balance in the ecosystem. Now as you know that for maintaining or for the balancing of the ecosystem, the proper food chain and food web should be carried out, and for this reason the energy should be passed from one level or from one topic level to the next topic level. And if the energy does not pass, then the balancing of the ecosystem does not takes place, and for this reason the energy should be transferred to the different topic levels, right? So this predation is also one of the interspecific interaction in which the energy is being transferred to the next higher trophic level in accordance with the maintenance of the ecosystem. Now, for the plants, herbivores are predators, and some plants produce secondary metabolites, those are thorns or poisonous chemicals to ward off predators. Now, you know that plants, right? So, plants are said to be the producers, and herbivores are those animals who eat only and only plants, right? So the herbivores, they feed on the plants. So for the plants, these plants are said to be the prey, and the herbivore animals, they are said to be the predators, right? But some plants, what they do is they have the ability to produce the secondary metabolites as well as thorns, that is the simply you can the thing which you like which can hurt you, right? So that is same way that the herbivores are also being hurted by those thorns. Sometimes they are also been producing the poisonous chemicals in order to ward off, that is in order to survive, or in order to like in order to like they ward off the predators, that is they take care of their own self, right? And for this reason the predators are no more can uh, like there is no more can affect them, right? Or they can kill them, right? For this reason the plants, what they do is they produce the secondary metabolites. These are thorns, then poisonous chemicals, right? And other like things also through which they can ward off the predators. Next is, similarly the animals also camouflage themselves to protect themselves from predators. The example of this is the chameleon, right? The chameleon has the ability to change its color, right, based upon if like if there is some change in the environment also, then also it changes its color. If any predator is coming, right, or if any predator is trying to attack that camouflage, then also what happens, that chameleon is what it is doing is it changes its color, right? So animals also do have such ability or feat characteristics that they, for protecting themselves from the predators, they camouflage. The camouflage means what? The changing of the color, right? Now some preys are poisonous or distasteful. Now even the prey, that is the predator on which the predator which feed on the prey, right, those prey can be poisonous, as well as there can be no taste, right? The example of it is the monarch butterfly, which is highly distasteful because of a special chemical it acquires during its caterpillar stage by feeding on poisonous weeds. So the example of it is a monarch butterfly, and this monarch butterfly is highly tasteful. And why it is distasteful? Because when it is in the larval stage or a caterpillar stage, right, they feed on the poisonous weeds in accordance to have the special chemical, right? So when any of the predator eats that monarch butterfly, right, they it acts, or that particular prey acts as a poisonous or a distasteful type of food, right? So this way also the predators does not eat those type of foods, right, or those type of prey. So in accordance to avoid the predators, right, this type of special chemicals are also being acquired by feeding on the poisonous weeds, right? So this was about the first type of the interspecific interactions, and that was the predation. Second is the competition. So in competition, the word itself says that there will be some competition between the species, right, relatedly species, in accordance with the same type of the habitat as well as the food resources, right? So it occurs only in closely related species, right? That means nearby to, like closely, well, they are around, they are mostly similar from each other, those type of species. In those type of species only the competition is observed, wherein they share the same type of habitat. So for habitat also they are undergoing competition, as well as for the food resources also the competition takes place. However, for competition to take place, resources need to be always scarce, and competition does not necessarily take place between same species. Now, normally those species which are same in nature, the competition does not take place between them. But for the competition, right, the resources need to be always scarce. That means if more amount of resources are present, then there will be no competition which is observed. But if there will be some scarcity of some type of resources, then the competition takes place between the nearly or closely related species. Now, in competition, the fitness of one species is significantly lower in the presence of another species, and survival of the fittest ultimately takes place. Now, when we are talking about competition in one single habitat, when closely related species are living, so amongst them one species is going to be strong, and the second species is going to be like the fitness is comparatively lower, right? So one species is comparatively more fit and the second one is comparatively less fit than the first one. So what happens when the when it comes to the survival of the fittest, right? That means what happens when the competition takes place, the one who is having lower fitness, that species is thrown out, and for this reason when the fittest one is going to live in that place and it is going to use those all the resources. So in competition, the competition is based upon the fitness of a particular species, right? If good fitness is there, then the survival is proper, right? That is it is going to live in that place as well as it is going to use all the resources. Next is the Gauss competitive exclusion principle states that two closely related species competing for the same resource cannot coexist indefinitely and the completely inferior will be eliminated eventually. Now, the Gauss competitive exclusion principle says that if two closely related species, if they are competing or if the competition is taking place between the two closely related species for the same resource, right, then they cannot live in that place along with each other, right? So they cannot live coexist, right? So for this reason the competition is going to be take place, and similarly gradually and slowly what happens, the one who is not fit, it is eliminated out, right? So this is about the Gauss competitive exclusion principle, that when the two closely related species are living together and when they are competing for the same resources, they cannot live together in a single habitat. Eventually what they will do is the fittest one will live there and the one who is having low fitness, it is going to be eliminated out. Moreover, some species may develop mechanisms to facilitate their coexistence. But in few of the species, right, several mechanisms are being facilitated in accordance to live in a single place along with both of the species, right? So this was about the second type of the population interspecific interaction, and that is competition. Third is the parasitism, right? Parasitism, what exactly it is? So in this type of interaction, one of the one of the partners is benefited because it resides outside or inside the body of the host and gets free accommodation and food, while the host is affected due to loss of nutrition. Now the exam, normally the parasitism is what, there are two partners and one partner is said to be the host partner and the second is said to be the parasite, right? The parasite feeds on the host body and it intakes or it uptake all the nutrients from the host body. So here the beneficial, the as the parasite is acting or it is uptaking all the nutrients from the host body, the parasite is beneficial while the host body is affected because all the nutrients are lost. So in this type of uh, interspecific interaction, right? The one partner is benefited while the another one is affected. Now, parasites in nature have developed a wide variety of adaptations, such as hooks and suckers for attachment, loss of digestive system, high reproducing capacity, etc. Now, these parasites, right? They are of wide variety, right? And they have also adapted to several different types of nature, that is environment, that they can live in different types of environment in different forms, right? Such as hooks and suckers, right? For attachment of the parasite to the host body, there is presence of hooks as well as suckers, as well as they are also responsible for the loss of the digestive system, that is whatever a person eats, everything has been intaken by the parasites, and for this reason the person does not get anything, or it is also seen in the animals also. These parasites, they also do possess high reproducing capacity, and for this reason they grow much more inside the or outside the body of a organism, right? Now, the parasites, they live in two ways, right? They, if they live outside the body, right? That is when they are present outside the body and intaking the nutrition from the host organism, then those parasites are known as ectoparasites. And if the parasites are living inside the body of a host organism, then those type of parasites are known as endoparasites, right? Now, brood parasitism is seen in birds in which the parasitic bird lays its egg in the nest of the unassuming host bird, which takes care of them until they hatch. For example, quail lays its eggs in the nest of the crow. This is one of the most well-known example which is seen. This brood parasitism is observed in the birds, right? And this like the parasitic bird, that is the quail, it lays its eggs inside the nest of the crow, but crow is not knowing that this egg is of your quail, right? So what they do is they take care, when they take care of that eggs in the nest of the crow, right? The crows only are responsible for taking care of those eggs, and when their eggs hatch at that time, what is the scenario is that the when upon hatching it is going to give rise to the coil. So none another, coil lays its egg in the nest of the crow. So it is a type of parasitic bird. So here this is said to be the brood parasitism. So this is about the third type of the interspecific interaction, and that is parasitism. The fourth one is commensalism. Commensalism is the interaction where one of the partner is benefited while the other is neither benefited nor harmed. So here two partners are there. Amongst them, one is benefited, but the another one or the second one, it is not even benefited or not it is harmed. The example of it is an orchid growing on an epiphyte on the mango tree. The orchid gets the support while the mango tree is unaffected, right? So here the commensalism says about the example, that is an orchid which is growing on the epiphyte on the mango tree. So the mango tree, it is very huge and it is a big tree, right? While the orchid needs what? A support for growing, right? But mango tree is unaffected, but the orchid gets the support. So the in order with the commensalism, the orchid is being beneficial as it is getting the support, while the mango tree is neither benefited or harmed, right? So this is about the fourth type of the interaction, that is interspecific interaction, and that is commensalism. Now we are going to see the last and the fifth interspecific interaction, and that is mutualism or symbiosis. In this mutualism, right, this type of interaction, what happens, both the partners are benefited, right? Symbiosis is normally the most well-known example of it is lichen, right? So lichens are the interaction of the algae and fungus. So they combine with each other, right? What they do is where both of them are beneficial to each other, right? What they do is the fungi give the support to the algae for growing, and algae, as they are having chlorophyll, they prepare their own food upon carrying out the photosynthesis. So when they prepare their own food, it also provides the food to the fungi. So fungi gives the support to algae, and the algae gives the food to the fungi. So here both the partners are beneficial, and for this reason this type of interaction is known as mutualism, or it is also known as symbiosis. Here we complete this chapter. I hope you are very clear with this chapter, and I hope to see you again. Thank you.